The loudest sound in my life wasn't a siren, it was the crackle of a taser right in front of an ambulance. 1 second I was yelling, "Ma'am, this is a 911 call," and the next my legs folded and my face hit asphalt outside a gated community. A woman wearing an HOA safety patch decided her keypad code mattered more than a human heartbeat. I'm Dr. Megan Hart, ER Doc, the kind that rides along when the call sounds ugly and the clock is already losing. That afternoon dispatch said possible cardiac arrest, and our EMT driver Nate didn't even blink. He just hit the lights and drove like every red light was optional. We rolled up to Maplewood Gables, manicured hedges, stone sign, the whole private paradise thing. And right there, right in the middle of it, a steel gate that looked like it was designed to keep out reality. Nate leaned on the horn once hard, then grabbed the mic. EMS. Open the gate. Emergency medical response. A woman stepped out of a little guard alcove like she owned the air. Mid-40s, tight ponytail, crisp vest, radio clipped to her shoulder like she was auditioning for a cop show. Her name tag read, Darla Whitmore, HOA President. She didn't look scared. She looked annoyed, like we were a delivery that showed up late. She raised a palm slow and smug. Resident code. Nate stared at her through the windshield. Ma'am, we don't have resident codes. We have a cardiac arrest. Open the gate. Darla tilted her head and tapped the keypad with one finger, not entering a code, just tapping it like it was a point she wanted to make. No code, no entry. Community policy. I got out. The air smelled like fresh-cut grass and warm pavement, and I remember thinking weirdly how calm it was for a place that had just called 911. I walked up to the bars, close enough to see the little veins at the corner of her eyes. Listen, someone inside is dying. We need access now. She gave me a smile that didn't reach her face. And I need verification. We've had incidents. You can go around to the visitor entrance. There is no go around, I said, trying to keep my voice flat professional. Every minute matters. She shrugged like I was talking about a parking ticket. Not my problem. My job is the gate, Nate shouted from behind me. We're on a recorded line with dispatch lady. Open it. And Darla's expression hardened like that word recorded offended her personally. She reached toward her radio. Do not raise your voice at me. This is private property. You don't get to bully your way in. I could feel my pulse thumping in my neck, not fear frustration. That particular kind of anger you get when someone's playing games with consequences they won't personally pay for. I took one step closer and pointed past her toward the homes beyond the gate. Somebody called you. Somebody called us. You're going to block emergency care over a keypad. Her hand slipped under her vest. At first, my brain didn't even label it. It was just a movement casual practiced. Then I saw the device come out black and compact and my stomach dropped. You have got to be kidding me, I said. Darla lifted it steady. Back up. Ma'am, I said, palms open. I'm a doctor. I'm here to help the resident. Put that down and open the gate. She didn't blink. Last warning. And then click, crackle. And my body stopped listening to me. It's hard to explain a taser to someone who hasn't felt it. It's not just pain. It's your muscles hijacked your jaw, clenching your lungs, forgetting rhythm for a split second. The world narrows and you hit the ground before you even finish the thought. This can't be real. I heard Nate yelling my name. I heard the EMTs scrambling. I heard Darla say, calm as a weather report. Stop resisting. Resisting. I almost laughed, except I couldn't move. Someone grabbed my shoulders and dragged me back toward the ambulance doors. I caught a glimpse through the bars, a woman in the distance running down a driveway waving both arms like she was trying to flag down a plane. Please, she screamed. My mom's inside. Oh my God, please. That scream is what stuck. Not the electricity, not the fall. The scream. I don't know exactly how it happened after that, whether a resident hit an override, whether dispatch got law enforcement to force access, whether someone finally realized we weren't there to steal landscaping equipment. I just know we got through. And we got there late. Inside the house, the living room was too quiet. A woman, Linda Parker, was on the floor, skin-gray lips, slightly blue, family panicking in a tight little circle like they could hold her together by sheer will. We moved fast. Compressors, airway, meds, the routine that looks brutal but is built for saving people who are slipping away. We worked, we pushed, we begged physics and biology and luck to cooperate. And then the monitor did the thing every ER doc hates, that flat, uncompromising line. No argument, no negotiation. Time of death got called, and the room made that sound families make when reality lands. It's not a single cry, it's a collapse. I stepped back, breathing hard sweat at my temples, and I felt something crack inside me that had nothing to do with the taser. Outside in the driveway, I saw Darla again. She was standing with her arms folded, chin up, like she expected an apology for the inconvenience. A deputy had arrived by then, Ethan Reyes, County Sheriff. He took one look at me, the marks on my uniform, the way my hands were still slightly trembling, and his eyes narrowed. Darla spoke first, loud enough to perform. She tried to force entry. I followed protocol. Deputy Reyes stared at her. "You tased a doctor on an active 911 call." Darla scoffed. "This is a gated community. We have rules. You people always think you can just—" "Stop," the deputy said sharp. "Just stop talking." For a second, Darla's face flashed not fear, not regret, irritation, like the world wasn't obeying her. That night, I went back to the hospital and got checked out. Bruises, a headache, pride in pieces. And in the quiet after, when the adrenaline finally burned off my brain, went mean on me. I kept replaying it, the gate, the taser, the scream. I kept thinking, was there another way in? Did I waste time arguing? Should I have shoved past her? It wasn't melodrama. It was the ugly practical self-check that hits when somebody dies, and you were in the room, or in this case, locked outside it. For about an hour, I considered something I never say out loud, that maybe it was easier to stop responding to calls in gated communities. Let the policies handle it. Protect my team, protect myself. Then my phone buzzed. Deputy Reyes. "Doc," he said, "we've got video." A resident had been filming through their front window when they heard the commotion, the ambulance, the shouting. Their footage caught everything: Darla refusing entry, lifting the taser, firing it. Another camera caught her blocking the keypad with her body like a bouncer. Reyes didn't sound emotional, he sounded certain. "You didn't do anything wrong. She did." That certainty mattered more than I expected. It snapped my thinking back into place. Because the real problem wasn't my choices in a bad moment. The problem was a person with a title acting like a gate was a throne. Over the next few days, things moved faster than HOA drama usually does, because this wasn't petty fines or trash cans. This was emergency medical care being stopped. The county opened an investigation. Then it wasn't just the county. Federal agents showed up, quiet suits, clipped questions, no patience for community policy. Linda Parker's family filed suit. The news picked it up. The phrase, "HOA President Tases Doctor During 911 Call" started popping up everywhere, and suddenly Maplewood Gables didn't look so perfect. Darla tried to spin it, of course she did. She gave a statement about security threats and unauthorized access and how she was protecting residents. She acted like the taser was a customer service tool. But the videos didn't care about her narrative. They showed what happened. And once the system saw it, really saw it, the HOA couldn't hide behind bylaws anymore. There was a hearing, then another. Darla sat there in a blazer, this time lips tight, eyes darting, still trying to look in control while her own words got read back to her like evidence tags. Deputy Reyes testified. Dispatch logs got played. Timelines got laid out minute by minute like a slow-motion gut punch. And Darla finally did the thing people like her always do. When the power disappears, she tried to blame someone else. She looked straight at me and said, if she had just followed the proper channel, the prosecutor cut her off. The proper channel for cardiac arrest is immediate access, not a keypad. That was the moment I felt my spine straighten again. Not because I won, but because the world for once agreed on what should have been obvious. The end came without fireworks. Darla was removed, charged. The HOA's so-called security program got torn apart and handed over to outside oversight. The board members who enabled her scrambled to distance themselves like they'd never met her. And Darla, the woman who thought she could block an ambulance like it was a pizza delivery, walked out of that courtroom without her title, without her swagger, and with her future decided by people who don't care about neighborhood politics. I didn't celebrate. I didn't feel triumphant. I just felt exhausted and clear. Because in the end, a gate is just metal, but when the wrong person holds the code, it becomes a weapon. Lesson: no rule book is worth more than a human life.